Alrighty, good morning, everybody. It is Taco Tuesday on PrizePicks. My name is CJ Curry. Some of you call me Chef Curry, and that's okay too because, it kind of fits the Taco Tuesday theme. This is the CJ Curry Show presented by PrizePicks. I appreciate everybody who's joining me. If you don't play on PrizePicks yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. 100% instant deposit match waits for you. All right, use code Curry. Every dollar that you put in, up to $100, they're going to match it dollar for dollar. Meaning your first entry on PrizePicks is on the house. It's risk-free. What are you waiting for? Get signed up today if you haven't yet, all right? Link down in the description of today's video for you to join PrizePicks and be a part of the action. Shout out to the chat, man. We got a lot of folks up in here this morning. Appreciate the support. I love the outpouring of support. You guys showing up, subscribing, liking, doing all the things to keep this channel running at tip-top shape. Hey, we had a pretty good show yesterday, gang. I don't know if you guys tuned in. Some of you may have missed yesterday's show, but if you missed yesterday's show, you missed some money-making moves, all right? What do I mean by that? Well, we had a nice little three-pick that we put together. We had Zach LaVine going over points. We had Anthony Simons going over 5 assists. He ended up tying, pushing, if you want to say that. And then we also had Tyrese Halliburton for more than 30.5 points and assists when you combine the two stats together. All right, so that was a three-pick. We did it as a flex, and the reason we did it as a flex is because we were hoping that Zach LaVine and Tyrese Halliburton would cover their prop. And they did. And then Anthony Simons, because he tied, our three-pick flex ended up reverting to a two-pick power play, meaning we had all the safety that you get by flexing your entries, right? Because with the flex entry option on PrizePicks, you're allowed to miss one, even sometimes two, and still get some money back. So we had all the insurance that we needed with the flex entry, but we had the upside of potentially getting that backdoor 3x, and boy, did we. We ended up hitting because Simons tied, LaVine went over his points, and Halliburton went over his points plus assists. Our 2.25x potential payout on a three-pick flex ended up turning into a 3x payout. It's basically like a two-pick power play. So shout out to anybody who tailed that pick. We also put Anthony Simons in with the free square that they've got running right now on PrizePicks, which is Justin Jefferson. He needs one receiving yard, all right? Coming up this week for Thanksgiving games, Justin Jefferson needs just one receiving yard. So what's going to happen with that is that two-pick power play, you're going to have Simons who tied, Justin Jefferson, I'm going to assume is going to find at least one receiving yard. That's going to be a 1.5x payout. So it's still a profitable entry. We were hoping for 6 assists from Simons, but hey, we'll take what we can get, right? It's better than losing. Better than losing, all right? Anyway, let's run through the chat real quick. We've got just a 4-game NBA slate, kind of a light NBA schedule tonight, but the games that we do have on deck look pretty good. You guys may have seen today's thumbnail player. It's Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons makes his long-awaited return to the basketball court in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. That's right. We're going to have to see how this Philadelphia 76ers crowd welcomes back Ben Simmons. Obviously, things didn't leave or end on a high note, right? It was kind of a rocky ending for Ben Simmons in his tenure with the Philadelphia 76ers. So we're going to get to see him tonight. Kyrie Irving's back for Brooklyn, and we'll talk about some of the other games in just a moment. And yes, as I mentioned, Taco Tuesday voting is underway. They got an NBA Taco going live right now in the PrizePicks Discord, the official PrizePicks Discord. You could go and vote. So we're going to look at the options that they have up on the board. There's already a clear front runner. I think it's Kevin Durant for points. Will probably be our next taco, but we're going to take a look at that as well. Running through the chat real quick. We got Dre Day. Dre Day says first up in here. Appreciate that, Dre Day. He says, what up, CJ? What you got for me? We're going to talk about what I got for you in just a moment. John says, let's get it. You flex at me, I flex back. Mo says, what's good, gang? Let's get to the bag on this lovely Taco Tuesday. Ronald's Green with a solid, steady, consistent what's up? What's up back at you? D'Angelo's in the building. He says, let's have a great Taco Tuesday. Everyone going to continue on the Bojan Bogdanovic first half PRA wagon. All right, we could definitely look at that one together. Remind me, though, when we get toward the end of the show, when we do the Q&A portion, remind me to take a look at that one. I'll probably forget. I got a lot of things going on in this head of mine. Chris Raptor says, let's freaking go. Regina's in the building. I can't find who won the $100 PrizePicks entry yesterday. Haven't selected them yet, Regina. What happens is I do a random selection. There's a random YouTube comment selection tool that they have out there, and I will reply directly in the comment section to one of you random commenters, okay? But fear not, somebody will be selected for that free entry. Wesley Winston's in the building, longtime supporter. He says, what's up, back at you, boss man. We've got Ricky Carroll in the building. He says, CJ, I need that free entry. All right, we'll get to it, gang. We'll get to it. High Flyer 89 says, let's freaking go. Taco Tuesday, baby. That's right, we ready to eat. Hopefully they serve up another fresh taco. They did break us off with a nice crispy taco to start the day off on Taco Tuesday. Who was it? It was Messi and somebody else for one goal, I believe it was. And yeah, I think Messi ended up coming through for us and hitting that goal. So fresh taco already being served by the PrizePicks chefs. Everyday Fantasy says, what to do, fam? Finally a day of solace with the chef and the Patreon. Yeah, shout out to everybody who's a Patreon member. I appreciate all the support in Patreon. Guys, if you want to join Patreon, best time to do so is at the beginning of the month. So December 1st, all right? December 1st would be a great time for you to join Patreon. Last night's Patreon picks that I posted exclusively for our members went 4, 2, and 1. So not a bad night whatsoever. 4, 2, and 1 on our Patreon picks. So if you want to get in on the winning action, I profited pretty well last night. December 1st is the best time to do that so you get the full benefit of the month, all right? Mike for the 4 says, spam that like button. Let's get to the paper. Appreciate you reminding the folks to do the damn thing, hitting that like button. Thanks for the sub, Ryan. Appreciate you subbing to the channel. We got Derek in the building. I made Derek some money yesterday. He says, what's up, CJ? How we doing today? How's that Florida weather? Slight overcast, but not bad. I mean, listen, with all the hurricanes and tropical storms that have been rolling through here in the past couple of months, I will welcome a slight overcast day any day of the week. I'm okay with that. Sydney's in the building. Let's eat together. I'm stressing. Haven't won. Bills due, baby. Need some shoes. All right. We got bills to pay. We got shoes to buy. I feel you on that. We'll see what we could do for you. 810 Stoke says, my dog. No, you're my dog. You're my dog. Who else we got in here this morning? Trill Fate says, yeah, you called that one. All right. Giving me some love. Levine is money. Game is life. Must have played some Levine yesterday. Braden's wanting to know, how do I feel about Harris under PRA? We'll take a look at that in just a moment. Strength is back. Appreciate you being here, Strength. Anthony says, Bagley for under 6.5 boards. We'll definitely talk about some Bagley. Again, y'all just got to remind me. You just got to remind me. All right, because y'all are hitting me with plays. We got some, a lot of stuff to talk about. We'll get to those toward the end of the show, the Q&A portion. I'll start taking your questions and stuff. Bout It says, what's up, chef? Let's cook. Gutta. How'd your picks go, CJ? Profits. I'll show you those in just a moment. Picks went good. Picks went all good. 4, 2, and 1. Not all good, but good enough for me to profit on a 4, 2, and 1. Sabonis assist is money, in my opinion. Hey, if you know, you know. All right, I'm on that one, too. Tamari Lawrence says, one of the best to do it. Appreciate the love, man. Bearded Gator, what's up? Back at you. All right, let's get into it. We got to start the day off with playing some Poeltl. We're trying to figure out who the mystery player of the day is. Here's how the rules work here. You get 8 guesses. I think yesterday we solved it in 3. If you get a yellow in the team column, it indicates that the mystery player at one point or another in their career played for that team. So it's not an exact match. We'll call it a partial match. Anytime you get yellow, partial match. Yellow in the position column indicates a partial match to the mystery player's position. So sometimes you'll see forward/center, you'll just see forward, or you'll just see guard. That means it's a partial match, all right? Yellow in any other column indicates this attribute is within 2. That could be 2 inches for their height. That could be within 2 years of their age. That could be within 2 digits of their jersey number, all right? So keep that in mind. And if we get stuck, we've got a silhouette to take a look at. So let's get into it. Today's thumbnail player of the day is none other than Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons making his return, as we mentioned, to Philadelphia. So we'll start things off by guessing Ben Simmons. It is not Ben Simmons, but what we do know is that this player is either a guard or a forward. So we can rule out all the centers, right? Kind of looking at maybe a combo type of player, right? A hybrid guard/forward type. This person's going to be under 6'10", going to be younger than 26 by 1 or 2 years. So maybe 24, 25 years old. All right. Jersey number is going to be a single digit number, or it could be 00. So it could be 00 all the way up to 9. but it's probably going to be somewhere around like 8. But this player does not play in the Eastern Conference. Not going to be in the Eastern Conference. So we got to go out west. We're looking for a guard or a forward out west who is shorter than 6'10", probably around 6'7", 6'6", younger than 26. So a fairly young player we're talking about. Fairly young player. Now, some of you guys have already mentioned this young cat. He's playing today. De'Aaron Fox. Maybe it's De'Aaron Fox. Jersey number 5, if I'm not mistaken. He's pretty young. He might be a little bit too old. Let's try it. De'Aaron Fox, point guard, right? Plays out west. So we know that we're dealing with a guard. Definitely going to be a guard. De'Aaron Fox, a little bit on the short side. He's 6'3". This player is going to be 6'4" to 6'5", somewhere in that range. De'Aaron Fox is 24. All right. But this mystery player, somewhere between 24 and 26. So we now know probably 25 years old. And the jersey number is 5. So we did get an exact match on the jersey number. So can you guys think of anybody who wears jersey number 5, who plays out west and is a guard, who is young, 25 years old, who is between 6'3" and 6'10", probably around 6'4", 6'5"? Who do we think, guys? Somebody's saying Jordan Poole. Could it be Jordan Poole? That doesn't look like Jordan Poole's silhouette to me. I don't know who that looks like. It kind of looks like a almost like Fred VanVleet or somebody, right? Got maybe a little wave action going, a little beard action going. That's the silhouette. That's the silhouette of the mystery player. I don't know who that is. Number 5, guard, young player. Malik Beasley? No. Malik Beasley? How old's Malik Beasley? He's 25? I feel like Malik Beasley is older than that. Y'all sure? Y'all are spamming Malik Beasley. You think so? Damn, well, that don't look like Malik Beasley to me. And I thought Malik Beasley was a little older. But you're right. It is Malik Beasley. I have a feeling that some of you guys out there may have cheated. Some of you guys may have cheated. All right. Hey, we got it. That's all that matters. 3 guesses. Utah Jazz, Western Conference, Northwest Division, does play guard. He is 6'4", exactly 25 years of age, and jersey number 5. You could tell from the beard on the slick. All right. I feel you. He's got that little, I don't know what you call that cut, but yeah, he's got a little beard going. Malik Beasley, Utah Jazz. Shout out to the Jazz. Pretty good team this year. Anyway, let's get into today's NBA slate. We got 4 games. Just 4 games to talk about. Gang, they tip off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time with the Brooklyn Nets and the Philadelphia 76ers. Lots of injury news in this game. Please stay on top of that. We'll start with the Brooklyn side. Nicholas Claxton is a game-time decision. We've got Yuta Watanabe, also a game-time decision. TJ Warren still out, has not made his debut yet for the Brooklyn Nets, but the Philadelphia 76ers side is the side that is most concerning because we already know Joel Embiid is out. We already know that James Harden is out, and we already know that Tyrese Maxey is out. That's pretty much the big 3. Now, the big question is Tobias Harris in or out tonight? He's a game time decision at this moment. Looks like he's green, little tick mark green next to his name. Means he's probably closer to playing than not playing. All right. So I expect Tobias Harris to pretty much be the offensive leader on this team. You got him, Shake Milton, DeAnthony Melton, versus the likes of Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and yes, the aforementioned thumbnail player of the day, Ben Simmons, making his return to the Philadelphia 76ers. So very low total game here, just 217.5 points. It's an 8-point spread. They expect Brooklyn to blow out the 76ers. And I can't say that I disagree when you take a look at this potential starting lineup for the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't think I want too many shares of any props from this game, all right? You might want to take 1 or 2. Maybe 1 or 2. And I mentioned earlier that Kevin Durant's already the leading vote getter for today's taco, which is concerning to me, gang. This is not going to be a free taco. What do I mean by that? Well, you look at the totals of today's games. We only got 4 games. This is the lowest total game on the board, 217.5. We've got a potential blowout here. Brooklyn, 8-point favorites. There is a reason why they are serving this taco up to us. They don't want it to be free. They want us to sweat. Now, how many of y'all put hot sauce or some spicy peppers on your tacos? Huh? How many like your tacos hot? All right, because that's what this is going to be, a hot, sweaty, spicy taco. There's a reason why they are giving us Kevin Durant as a taco today. Lowest scoring game on the slate, 8-point spread, meaning it could blow out, which means KD may not see 4 quarters of action. Just be careful with this taco. It's not free. Tacos are not meant to be free. You've been warned. All right, we'll talk more about that in just a minute. Sacramento at Memphis tips off at 8 o'clock tonight. 232.5, 2.5 point spread. We've got a lot of injuries on the Memphis Grizzlies side. Ja Morant, game time decision. He is truly a game time decision. His status is up in the air. We don't know if Ja's going to play or not, but what we do know is that Desmond Bane is already ruled out. Bane will not be taking the floor tonight, nor will Danny Green, nor will Zaire Williams. All right, so Ja Morant's going to be the big wild card, the big question mark of the day in this game, Sacramento at Memphis. But I do like this game, 232.5 points. I think it's the highest total of any of the games. Yeah, definitely the highest total game. So this is a good game to target some overs or the more option on PrizePicks. So some of you guys have already threw a couple plays out there. Sabonis for assists. Yes, I'm already on that. De'Aaron Fox is probably in a really good spot, especially if Ja Morant doesn't play. I got some De'Aaron Fox in one of my entries as well, so we'll take a look at that game in just a moment. Detroit at Denver, 9 p.m. tip-off. This one kind of looks ugly at first glance. When you see this one on paper, you're like, ooh, right? Especially with the Denver Nuggets and all the issues they've been dealing with, a lot of illness, sickness on their side of things. Nikola Jokic, game time decision. It looks like he's closer to being out than in. Same thing with Jamal Murray, closer to being out than in. Aaron Gordon, a true coin flip. We don't know if he's going to be in or out. Seems like Bones Highland is more likely to play than not. Jeff Green is out, so they're very thin. Very thin. Hopefully they get Aaron Gordon back, because if they don't have him, it's going to be Michael Porter Jr., KCP, Bruce Brown, kind of trying to keep things afloat for the Denver Nuggets. Over on the Detroit side, they've got their own list of injuries. 3 of their big stars, right? Saddiq Bey, they're young guys. Saddiq Bey, Cade Cunningham, and Isaiah Stewart all out. So it's going to be Marvin Bagley III, Isaiah Livers, Bojan Bogdanovic, Jaden Ivey, and Killian Hayes for the Detroit Pistons. Kind of seems to me like Detroit might already be in tank mode. They might have their eyes set on Victor Wembanyama, however you say his name. You know who I'm talking about, though. That big 7-foot French long, freaky dude. He makes Bol look normal. That guy. I can't say his name. I'm bad at names. 10 p.m. tip-off between the Lakers and the Phoenix Suns, gang. This is the last game of the night. 226.5 points here. Nice total, but it is a 7.5 point spread. Chris Paul not going to play for Phoenix tonight. He's missed the last handful of games. Obviously, Crowder is out. I don't think he's ever going to play for Phoenix again, but never say never, right? Cam Johnson is out. Landry Shamet is also out, so they're going to be kind of thin in the backcourt and on the wing. It's going to be Cameron Payne, Devin Booker, obviously, Mikal Bridges, and Torrey Craig. And let's not forget about DeAndre Ayton, who is in a good matchup tonight against the Los Angeles Lakers. Speaking of the Lakers, Anthony Davis looks like he is closer to playing than not playing. LeBron James, we don't know about him. I think he's missed the last handful of games as well. He is a game time decision, a true game time decision. So stay on top of the news for the LA Lakers. Obviously, if LeBron's out, it's going to be the Anthony Davis show. You got Russell Westbrook coming off the bench still, but I mean, it'll be Anthony Davis with Lonnie Walker, Austin Reeves, Patrick Beverly. Ooh, ugly. Anyway, you guys are saying LeBron just got ruled out. Well, then there you go. We've got our answers, gang. LeBron James will not play tonight against Phoenix. He said, my banana boat boyfriend Chris Paul ain't going to play, and neither am I. But yeah, he's out. He's been dealing with an adductor injury. So seems like James is on the verge of returning considering his recent string of questionable statuses, but he'll ultimately miss a 5th straight game Tuesday. His next chance to play is on Friday against the San Antonio Spurs. So no King James tonight. So there you go. You got your answer. One of the members of the banana boat, LeBron James, will not play. So their projected starting lineup is now Anthony Davis, Troy Brown, Lonnie Walker, Austin Reeves, with Pat Beverly running the point. All right, so those are your 4 games. First thing that I want to talk about here, we got a taco cooking up in the PrizePicks Discord kitchen. All right, gang. Now, I know some of you aren't on Discord. If you're not, you should be. A lot goes down in that PrizePicks Discord, allowing you to vote on things like Taco Tuesday. They do giveaways inside the Discord, etc., etc. But let's just take a look real quick at this taco voting here and see how things are going. What are our options? Well, our options are Kevin Durant points. I already talked about. That's a little sketch to me, all right? He's at 27.5 points. He is definitely by far and away leading the votes right now. They're going to take him down from 27.5 points down to 23.5 points. You got Kevin Durant for points, rebounds, and assists, going from 39.5 down to 34.5. And then I think the better options are these three. Fox for points, Fox for PRA, or Sabonis for PRA. But you kind of see how the voting's going, right? Which of these options are you guys liking? I don't know that I feel great about Kevin Durant, even on a discount in the lowest scoring game of the night with a potential blowout, 8-point spread. I don't know that I love Kevin Durant, but hey, it's a runaway, guys. They're gonna vote Kevin Durant in for this points taco. I just don't see how the voting shifts at all to any of these Sacramento Kings. I would have preferred De'Aaron Fox at 21.5 points, or maybe his PRA. Or even Sabonis PRA at 33.5 down to 28.5. But what do I know, right? I'm just a guy with a stupid opinion. But my vote's going to be for De'Aaron Fox points, just going off the top of my head, not really digging in too deep. That would have been my vote. 21.5 points for De'Aaron Fox in the highest scoring total of the night in a close spread, 2.5-point spread. Against a Memphis squad who's going to be shorthanded, no Desmond Bane, potentially no Ja Morant. I mean, why wouldn't you vote for that? I don't know. I think sometimes people just see a name that they know, like Kevin Durant. They just go with the most popular player sometimes, and they don't really put a lot of thought or research into their options. But yeah, that would be my pick probably. Like I said, just going off the top of my head, no research, but yeah, Anthony's in agreement. He's saying he's liking De'Aaron Fox for points as well. Tyler's saying he's liking Domantas Sabonis PRA. I would have been happy with either one of those options. But, you know, you put KD on the board and everybody gets bricked up for a name they know, like Kevin Durant. But again, just be careful with that Durant taco, 217.5 points. It's now a 7.5-point spread, so things have shifted just a little bit more toward Philadelphia. But, yeah. Just not feeling great about that one. If anything, I mean, you could always take the under on the original point line for Kevin Durant. So let's start looking at some of these props here. We'll split things out. All right, take a look at what we got on PrizePicks. So Kevin Durant's points are at 27.5. So you could always go under on his points line at 27.5. That's not a bad option. With Kyrie back, with Ben Simmons, I mean, I could see that being, you know, a play. Maybe take the under on the original line. Wouldn't hate that at all. Outside of that, I don't know. I mean, you know, Fox, we talked about him at 21.5 points would have been my favorite option. Obviously, Sabonis has been absolutely crushing his PRA. 33.5 going up against Memphis. But for me, I think it would have been Fox. I just like the matchup better for Fox. Again, without Bane, without Morant, like, this seems like a good way to go at 21.5. So we'll see. Yeah, Hayes is saying go under on KD's original point line. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that, actually. Let's take a look at some of the entries that I already have locked in. So we talked about yesterday, we had Anthony Simons for more than 5 assists going with the free square. Justin Jefferson for more than 0.5 receiving yards. That's going to be a 1.5x payout. Wish it was a 3x, but hey, profits are profits. Here's what I've got in so far today. Domantas Sabonis for more than 5.5 assists. I've got De'Aaron Fox for more than 1.5 3-point makes. And I've got DeAndre Ayton for more than 13.5 first half points, rebounds, and assists. So I threw it in as a 4 pick. I maxed it out. For me, my taco max limit is $20. All right, so I put the full 20 on this. So let's look at these picks that I have in. We'll start with Domantas Sabonis at 5.5 assists. Why do I like that play? Well, guy's just been absolutely hitting that 5.5 like it's going out of style, right? Domantas Sabonis his hit rate on 5.5 assists, even dating back to last season. Since that Tyrese Halliburton for Sabonis trade went down, my man has just been on the warpath when it comes to dropping dimes. So we'll use props.cash here. Guys, if you don't use props.cash to help with your player prop research, you're really wasting a lot of time. They have pretty much all the information that you could want or need baked into one app. All right. You can close down 5 or 6 different windows, consolidate things down to one site, one app right here on props.cash. So that's what we're going to be using. If you've never used props.cash before, you want to sign up for your first month, I'll save you 25% by using code Curry at sign up. I've left a link for you down in the description of today's video. So check out props.cash if you're not already. So let's go ahead and filter this out. I've got the assist category selected, Sacramento versus Memphis. I'm going to click on Domantas Sabonis' name. And when I click on his name, you're going to see a lot of green bars. Green mean good. Red mean bad. But in this case, we're seeing a lot of green. So that means good. He's 11 for 15 this season, 73% hit rate at 5.5 assists. So he's definitely been getting it done more often than not. Well, what about the games that he missed? What happened there? What happened? Well, in this game, he only played 22.4 minutes. In this game, he only played 22.7 minutes. So that was due to a lack of playing time. These other games, he just missed. He just straight up missed. Versus San Antonio, versus Portland. Had plenty of minutes in those games. But, I mean, if you take these 2 games out of the equation where he had just 22 minutes of court time, then, you know, the hit rates get even better, right? He'd be like 11 for 13 or something ridiculous. Anyway, 73%, we're going to take it. Not only that, but he's already played Memphis once this season. Back on October 27th, and he dropped 9 assists on their heads. 9 dimes for Domantas Sabonis versus Memphis in their previous matchup. We already talked about the total on this game being one of the highest of the slate, 231 points with just a 2.5-point spread. So hopefully it doesn't blow out. Hopefully we see Sabonis out there for 4 quarters, 30-plus minutes of playing time. But this looks really good so far. Not to mention, as a team, the Memphis Grizzlies ranked 27th in assists allowed, total assists allowed to opposing teams. That comes out to 27.2 assists per game, APG. So things are looking pretty good here. Sabonis, 73% hit rate on the season, right? 9 assists versus Memphis. And if we go back and look at like his last 30 games, I mean, this is going back to last season. I mean, he's 67%, 20 of his last 30. So the dude's just been getting it done, right? Getting it done. Now, one thing that you can also look at using NBA.com's NBA Advanced Stats is potential assists. We've talked about it in previous shows. What are potential assists? Potential assists are kind of like field goal attempts, 3-point field goal attempts. They're an opportunity for a player to record an assist. So what we want to see is Domantas Sabonis toward the top amongst his teammates in potential assists. If you're not getting potential assists, then you won't get any assists, actual assists. So we want to see Domantas Sabonis at the top of the list when it comes to potential assists. So using this handy dandy little tool here, completely free on NBA.com, we're going to go from all teams to Sacramento, right? And then we're going to scroll down, click Get Stats. Once we get those stats, we can go to the potential assist column, which is already highlighted here. And you can see that De'Aaron Fox leads the team in potential assists at 12.8. But who's right behind him? None other than the son of Arvydas Sabonis, Domantas Sabonis, at 9.9 potentials per game. So he's right there at like 10 potential assists, second on the team. So it's really a 2-man race as far as potential assists on the Sacramento Kings. It's De'Aaron Fox, number 1, right around 13 per game. And then you got Domantas Sabonis right behind him at 10 per game. Now, another category that I like to take a look at is passes made. Passes made is important because this indicates that this player touches the ball a lot, right? You can't make a pass unless you have the ball in your hands. As far as passes made goes, Sacramento, 55.2 passes made by De'Aaron Fox, number 1 on the team. But right behind him, no surprise, is Domantas Sabonis. He touches the ball a lot. These 2 guys are usage monsters for the Sacramento Kings. Number 1 and number 2 in usage. You're looking at them, Fox and Sabonis. So let's not overthink this one. We've got a guy who's hitting this prop this season at over a 70% hit rate. Why wouldn't we go here? Now, to take our research a step further, because we like to look at these props from various points of view, from various angles, right? We like to be thorough in our research. At least I do. If I'm going to put my money on something, I want to know that I'm putting my money on a wise investment. So let's take a look at the assists allowed per game by the Memphis Grizzlies to opposing centers, which is where Domantas Sabonis spends the most of his time. Memphis, number two in the NBA. No team gives up more assists per game to the center position, other than the Sacramento Kings, than the Memphis Grizzlies. So they are giving up over 5 assists per game. That's the number 2 most assists given up, 5.1 per game. All right. I've laid out the numbers. I've presented the facts to you guys so far. What do you think about Domantas Sabonis for more than 5.5 assists? Let me know in the chat. Leave a thumbs up if you think this looks like a good play. Thumbs down if you're not going to take it. Maybe you're going to fade it, right? Or you're going to take the under. Leave a thumbs down in the chat if you're going to take the under. I'm thumbs up on this. I mean, I think all the data, all the research, all the numbers point to we should be taking the over. Now, if you agree, put it in your entries today. If you disagree for any reason, if you think this is a bad play, do not take it. All right? Be responsible with your money. But I think I'm in. I actually am in already on Domantas Sabonis. He's in my entry for more than 5.5 assists. He's already in there for more than 5.5 assists. All right, so let's get you a projection here. We look at these projections. We look at the sports books to help us with our picks. Domantas Sabonis at 5.5 assists. He is at 5.5 assists on all sports books right now. Why this hasn't been bumped is beyond me. Why it hasn't been bumped is beyond me. Minus 145 betting favorite. Minus 142 betting favorite on the books. Minus 135, minus 130, minus 148, minus 152 on some sports books. That is a lot of juice, a lot of action coming in on the over. I would say you should take this before it gets bumped up to 6 because it's only a matter of time. So we're definitely in on Sabonis at 5.5 assists. At least I am. You guys do what you want to do. There's one person, the Gamers Division, who is saying he will be fading this pick. Please let us know, Gamers Division, why you are fading this pick. I'd like to know why. Maybe you're seeing something. Maybe you know something that we don't know. Put us on game. Let us know what you found in your research and process, which makes you think Sabonis will not get 6 assists tonight. Tell us. Help somebody out. If you know something we don't know, the Gamers Division, you're watching, you're saying you're fading it. Tell us why, brother. Tell us why. But anyway, I'm in on this one. Sabonis is projected for 5.5 assists. A lot of action coming in on the over. I think it will get bumped up to 6 at some point, right? The other one that I have in my entry here, I already have Sabonis at 5.5 assists, going for more than 5.5. De'Aaron Fox for more than 1.5 3-point makes. De'Aaron Fox for more than 1.5 3-point makes is another one that I have in my entry. He's sitting out there, 1.5. I think his points look good, but the 1.5 3-point makes is the way that I went. So let's look at this one together. We're going to go over here to props.cash. We're going to select the 3-point make category. We're still on the Sacramento-Memphis game. This game, again, one of the highest total games of the slate, right? There's going to be a lot of points expected to be scored between these two teams. We look at De'Aaron Fox and his 3-point makes. He is 9 for 14 on the season, 64% hit rate. More green than red, right? Most games he's hitting the over here, 9 out of 14. What happens whenever he's, let's say, at home versus away? Well, at home, 6 for 9, 67%. Away, 3 for 5, 60%. He's hit in 3 straight games on the road. He's already played the Memphis Grizzlies once this season. He scored or made 2 3-point makes against Memphis on October 27th. So we know that he can get it done against the Memphis Grizzlies, right? And if they're shorthanded, man, the matchup should be even easier for him tonight. He's now hit this in 2 out of his last 3 games going up against Memphis. So you got De'Aaron Fox here for more than 1.5 3-point makes is the way that I went. Looking at this one a little bit closer here. If you look at the Memphis Grizzlies defense, they rank 27th in total 3-pointers allowed. They're giving up over 13 3-point makes per game to opposing teams. There's only 3 teams in the league giving up more total threes per game than the Memphis Grizzlies. All right. So the matchup looks right. As far as 3-point field goal percentage, nearly a 37% 3-point field goal percentage allowed to opposing teams. There's only 6 teams in the NBA giving up a higher 3-point field goal percentage to opposing teams. So we're getting green in the 3 points allowed, and we're getting green in the 3-point percentage allowed. So I like green. I want more green. And hopefully this pick leads me to more green tonight. Taking a look at his 3-point attempts per game, he's usually right around like the 4 to 5 mark. In an up-tempo, up-pace style game like this one against the Memphis Grizzlies, I could see him being at like 5 or more 3-point attempts. In fact, the last time that he played Memphis, he shot a total of 6 threes, made 2 out of 6. So if he's going to take 5 or 6 tonight, I'll take my chances on De'Aaron Fox knocking down at least 2 against a short-handed Memphis Grizzlies backcourt. So I'm going to take my chances here with De'Aaron Fox. Looks like a good matchup. Let's look at this one a little bit further. We go to the point guard position. We go to 3-pointers made, right? We want to see how many 3-point makes that the Grizzlies are giving up to point guards on a per game basis. We don't have to go very far down this list. All right, we're looking at point guards. We're looking at 3-point makes allowed per game. 5th most this season. The 5th most this season, meaning there's only 4 teams giving up a higher per game average when it comes to 3-point makes. The New York Knicks, Detroit Pistons, Houston Rockets, and the Phoenix Suns are the only teams giving up a higher 3-point field goal make per game average to point guards. So Memphis, 3.36 3-point makes allowed per game to point guards, the 5th highest 3-point make field goal average per game. So that's why I'm going with this one. What do you guys think? I'm laying it out there for you guys. Like, you've seen the numbers. I've presented you with the information, the data, the facts. I've set the table for you. Are you taking this more, less, or is it a fade? Sometimes you can fade. Like I said yesterday, Tinder, you got to swipe left or swipe right. But sometimes you ain't got to swipe at all. Sometimes you swipe up and close the Tinder app and put your phone down and walk away, all right? You've done too much Tinder for the day, all right? You can fade too. You can always walk away. You don't always have to swipe left or swipe right. And the same goes for PrizePicks. The same holds true here. We don't always have to go for more or less. Sometimes the best move is just to walk away, right? So you guys let me know what you're doing with De'Aaron Fox, but I think he's in a really good spot here. Let's get you a projection on his 3-point makes, and we'll take a look at the sports books on De'Aaron Fox and see which way the money's coming in on this prop. He's projected for 1.4 3-point makes. 1.4 3-point makes, decent projection. It's more than one, right? More than one. So we'll take that. As far as the action, the juice, the way that the money's coming in on this prop, minus 125 betting favorite to go over, minus 130 on some sites, minus 129 on others. So the betting public seems to be taking the over on this one. They expect De'Aaron Fox to be good for at least 2 3-point makes. At least 2 3-point makes. Like Ace V is saying, Fox's 3-point makes is a nice correlation if you're going to be taking Sabonis' assists. Should be plenty of points scored on this in this game here, especially by the Sacramento Kings. So that's why I've got those 2 guys going for more. Now this last pick is a little bit more controversial. You see, I got 3 NBA picks with the soccer taco, right? The last pick is DeAndre Ayton for more than 13.5 PRA. DeAndre Ayton's starting to get a little bit frustrating. It seems like anytime he's in a really good spot, like he is tonight, my guy just seems to underperform. Now, I'm going first half only on this one because I could see this game potentially turning into a blowout. I think the spread was somewhere around 7, right? So anything above 5, get up to 7, 8, 9. I start to get a little concerned here. We got a spread of 7.5 on this game. So I'm going first half only just in case Phoenix does beat the brakes off of the Los Angeles Lakers, who we now know will be without LeBron James. It could happen, right? We could see Phoenix possibly blowing the Los Angeles Lakers out tonight. Phoenix is playing at home. Now, the total on this game is good at 228, which gives me some hope. Gives me hope that DeAndre Ayton will show up tonight. 228 means a lot more possessions, More possessions means more shots are going to be flying. More shots flying means more opportunities for these guys to score points, to grab rebounds, to rack up assists, right? So I'm going PRA on DeAndre Ayton. Now, you could just go strictly first half points if you want to as well. I'm not mad at that one either. Actually, I had a very tough time figuring out which way I wanted to go here. So you could go DeAndre Ayton for first half PRA. You could take DeAndre Ayton for just the first half points. They did not have his fantasy score up whenever I made this, and they still don't. Still no fantasy score up, first half only for DeAndre Ayton. So you're going to either have to go Ayton, if you want to go here at all, Ayton for points or Ayton for his PRA. Now, I looked at this one pretty thoroughly. Starting with the DVP, defense versus position. I went to the center position. I said, hey, what are we looking at here matchup-wise? We know the Lakers are pretty thin in the front court. They got Anthony Davis kind of holding down the fort, right? Let's take a look at this a little closer here. The Los Angeles Lakers on a points per game basis, they're giving up about 22.5 points per game to centers, which puts them closer to the top than it does the bottom. They're like right around the middle of the league, middle of the pack, but they are closer to the top than they are the bottom, which gives me some hope. 22.5 points allowed to centers. What about rebounds allowed? Number 1 in the league in rebounds allowed. So again, this is why I went PRA over just the pure points here, because DeAndre Ayton's going to have an opportunity to get some rebounds against a team that's giving up more rebounds to centers than anybody else. He should have opportunities to grab some boards. This is why I favor the PRA. 22.5 points, 17.5 rebounds. You're already looking at 40 PRA given up, and then you sprinkle on 4 assists on top of that. You're looking at about 44 points, rebounds, and assists given up to opposing centers. Now, if we slice that in half, because we're looking at first half only, if we slice 44 in half, we get about 22 PRA given up to centers. He needs 14 out of that 22, give or take, right? He is their most dominant big man. He is their starting center. And behind Devin Booker, he is their second best option offensively. So I'm going with it. That's why I'm going with it. 44 PRA given up to opposing centers. 22 roughly given up to him by half, right? And he needs 14. So I'm going to go with it. Now, you can take your research a step further here, your first half research, by using StatMuse. So you can go DeAndre Ayton, first half points plus rebounds plus assists, logs, and you can look at this a number of different ways here. And we'll look at it together. He's at 13.5. We kind of see what he's done this season. It's important we put this season in there as well. We don't want to go back too far. We don't want to go too far back, right? So in his last 5 games, he's hit this in 3 out of 5, just like PrizePicks is showing here. 3 out of his last 5. You see some of these games going back a little bit further here. He had 23, 26, 14, 17. It's probably going to be a little bit of a sweat. I ain't going to lie to you guys. It's probably going to be a little bit of a sweat. That's why I said it's probably controversial. Now, you can also go without Chris Paul. And we'll take off this. Well, no, we'll look at this season. Games played this season without Chris Paul. All right, he's hitting 3 out of 6 games without Chris Paul. 3 out of 6 without Chris Paul. Now, you could take off this season, and you could go back and just look at historically, previous seasons, games played without Chris Paul. How well has he scored? 13.5, gone over 13.5 PRA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 17 hits, 8 misses. What's that? 17 for 25? Somewhere around there. Not bad, right? Pretty decent hit rate. And then you could also take a look at this in another way. You could go DeAndre Ayton first half PRA versus Anthony Davis logs. How does he do against the brow? Well, he's hitting 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 7 games going up against Anthony Davis. You could also go versus the Los Angeles Lakers. A lot of different ways you can approach your research here. So he's hitting his last 3 games going up against LA, 22, 30, and 20 Actually, the last 4 games. He's 4 out of his last 4 against the Lakers. 22, 30, 20, and 14 first half PRA. So 4 out of his last 5, including 4 straight games in which he's gone over against LA. But historically, he's done really well against the Lakers. If you look at the entire course of his career, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 out of 11 games he's hit the over. My biggest concern probably with this pick is foul trouble. My biggest concern with this pick is foul trouble. If he is going to be tasked with guarding Anthony Davis, he could get into foul trouble. That is really my only issue with this. As far as the matchup against AD, I think he should be able to score on AD. I think he should be able to rebound against AD. I'm not worried about anything about him in the matchup with AD. My biggest concern is that he picks up some silly little ticky-tack fouls and ends up glued to the bench and not getting enough minutes. So now I turn things over to you guys. Are we taking the over or under, more or less on DeAndre Ayton? And are you going to go PRA or are you going to go points? I think PRA would be the way that I would go, and that is the way that I did go. You can see that I put a 4 pick together. I did flex it. So far, I am 1 for 4. I like Sabonis over 5.5 assists. I like Fox for more than 1.5 3-point makes. DeAndre Ayton's going to be the wild card. But I think if he could stay out of foul trouble, he's in a really good spot against the Lakers. There's no denying it. They do give up 22.5 points, 17.5 rebounds, and 4 assists. He's just got to stay out of foul trouble. That's the biggest thing. All right. Molly Too Funny says he's fading Ayton. I feel you. John says fading only because I took his PRA all game this morning, so an L for me. Okay, I hear you. Nick Champagne wants to know, how has he done versus Davis with fouls? He's done pretty decent. Let's see. We can go back here. Sometimes these first half personal fouls are a little shaky, but he does foul, man. Even going back to when AD was with the Pelicans, he had 3 first half fouls, 2, 4, 2, 2, 0, 3. So again, if there's an Achilles heel with this pick, it's going to be DeAndre Ayton's fouls. He could get into foul trouble. All right. Could get into foul trouble. That's the only knock against this particular pick. So anyway, I like the 2 Sacramento picks nonetheless. And I think that Sabonis probably will get bumped at some point. He would be my leading candidate for a bump. If anybody deserves a bump, it's probably Sabonis, up to 6 assists. All right. Let's run through some of the picks that you guys like. You guys are mentioning, is it Conchar or Conchar? Like Charizard from Pokemon. Is it Conchar, like a vehicle? Or is it Conchar, like Charizard? You guys let me know. Anyway, looking at some of your picks here, you guys have questions. Listen, if you want to guarantee yourself an answer to a question that you have here, the best way to do that is going to be through Super Chat. Super Chat is available. If you go to the live chat window, there's like a little dollar bill that says like show your support. You can help support the channel, get your question or comment highlighted in the live chat. So if it's something that's like really on your mind, really pressing question, really immediate need for an answer, use Super Chat. You can feel good when you lay your head down on your pillow at night that you're supporting a channel like me. And I will definitely go into great depth and research in looking at your pick. Let's see here. A lot of people are talking Boban. We're going Boban. And I think you guys want to go Boban for first half. Bojan Bogdanovic. Who put Boban? I swear I saw somebody put Boban in the chat. Anyway, we're talking about Bogdanovic, not Boban Marjanovic. Different guy. Totally different guy. But Bojan Bogdanovic here. 13.5 PRA. We already talked about all the injury issues with the Detroit Pistons. Looking at this game here, Sadiq Bey's out. Cade Cunningham's out. Isaiah Stewart is out. So it's going to be Marvin Bagley, Isaiah Livers, right? They're going to step in. Killian Hayes is stepping into the starting lineup. Now, as far as who's generating offense for the Detroit Pistons, I would have to say that Bogdanovich is probably their number one bucket getter, right? Behind him, Jaden Ivey would probably be second for me. Maybe even Marvin Bagley, third. But yeah, Bogdanovich should be in a good spot. He doesn't have to compete with Cade Cunningham for touches, for usage. Doesn't have to compete with Sadiq Bey for touches or shot attempts. Isaiah Stewart's not in there. Maybe that leads to more rebounds for Bogdanovich. But yes, I know that a lot of you guys have been going to Bogdanovich for first half. So one way you can take a look at it, like a bigger, larger scope, bigger picture of his first half performances, you go Bojan Bogdanovich, first half points plus rebounds plus assists logs this season. So once you punch all that stuff in there, then you can get a full look at what he's been doing for first half only, right? We got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 games. 18 games. And so far, out of those 18 games, he's hit the over in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 out of 18. Now, I'm no mathematician, but that sounds like a pretty damn good hit rate so far. 14 out of 18. Now, is the PRA the move? Or are his points the move? Because I know some of you are probably going to be asking, well, what about Bogdanovich for points? Well, he's at 9.5 points. How many times has he scored 10 or more points? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 out of 18. So the PRA has the higher hit rate. So if you're going to go out and take one of these, I would say probably the PRA, right? Can't really give you any projections or anything on Bogdanovich for first half. First half projections don't exist yet. Maybe they will one day, but yeah, Bogdanovich looking pretty sharp here. Pretty darn good. There's only been 1, 2, 3, 4 games in which he has not hit 14 or more PRA. We can also take a look at the splits here. He's going to be on the road tonight going up against Denver. So you could go Bojan Bogdanovich, first half points, rebounds, assists, logs on the road this season. And get an idea of what he's done when he plays away from Detroit, when he's, visiting a different arena. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 10. 80% hit rate. 80% hit rate on the road at 13.5 first half PRA. So, yeah, we'll go over on that. I think that's the way to go. I don't see anything that would lead me to take the under or to fade this. So, for all of you Bojan Bogdanovich first half PRA truthers out there, I think this is a good look. And I see a lot of people are on this bandwagon. Yes, indeed. Let's see here. We got a super chat from my man, Everyday Fantasy. Super chats obviously get that priority over everybody else. Thank you for the super chat, Everyday Fantasy. Let's take a look at your question here. And you guys are saying it's Conchar, like Charizard. All right. Shout out to my Pokemon people out there. Everyday Fantasy with Mikal Bridges, 5.5 rebounds. He would like us to look at this one a little bit closer. Let's put it under the magnifying glass, the microscope. Let's go to Mikal Bridges, 5.5 boards. All right. He's going up against the Lakers tonight. We know LeBron James not going to be in the starting lineup for the Los Angeles Lakers. So it's going to be Anthony Davis and, what's his name? Troy Brown starting in the front court. But you're liking Bridges for more than 5.5 rebounds. Let's go look at his full season view, because PrizePicks gives us the last 5, but we want to see more game logs, right? We want to see more out of Bridges. How many times has he gone over 5.5 boards this season? 7 for 16, 44%. What does that mean? That means that more often than not, he is staying under 5.5 rebounds. A lot of these games, there's a lot of hooks in here, right? 5 against Houston, 5 against Portland, 5 against Philly, 5 against Miami. What is the hook? Well, you see this little 0.5 that comes after the 5 here? You got 5 and then you got 0.5. That 0.5 is the hook. And yes, the hook is not our friends. A lot of the times I get hooked on some of these picks. There's been 4 games in which you would have gotten hooked with this particular pick here. Now we could also look at like what he's done against LA. Over the course of his last season, he played LA 4 times. He only went over 5.5 rebounds in 1 out of 4. That's a 25% hit rate. All right, we could also look at this season. How does he do on 1 day's rest? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6, 7, 8, 9, 5, 10. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 6 out of 11 when you're on like a 1 day rest situation. You could also look at the splits. At home, 4 for 9, 44%. Away, 3 for 7, 43%. So not really seeing any type of strong splits here on Mikal Bridges. In other words, he doesn't rebound any better at home than he does when he's on the road. And then you could go down and kind of look at the LA Lakers defense. Now, here's where there is some potential. They rank 27th in total rebounds allowed, over 46.7 rebounds per game given up. 19th in offensive rebounds allowed, nearly 11 rebounds per game. 35.9, we'll call it 36 total defensive rebounds allowed. That is the second most in the entire league. There's only one team giving up more rebounds to opposing teams, right? So you can kind of dig in here a little bit closer. And the matchup does look good here for Mikal Bridges. I'll give you that. Let's go take a look at the small forward position. How many rebounds are the Lakers giving up to opposing small forwards on a per game basis? Because he is the small forward. They're going to have Torrey Craig starting at power forward and DeAndre Ayton starting at center. Bridges will be your small forward. You'll have Devin Booker at shooting guard, obviously. And then you'll have Cameron Payne at point guard. So small forwards, 10.1 rebounds allowed per game by the Los Angeles Lakers to the small forward position. Now, I'm going to also look at the shooting guard position because maybe he and Booker are interchangeable, right? Shooting guards, small forwards, tomato. It's positionless. The NBA more and more positionless. But shooting guards against the Los Angeles Lakers, they're giving up about 6.1 rebounds per game. It sounds like a lot, but you kind of go down and you look and they're ranking down toward the bottom of the pack. 6.1 rebounds allowed per game. And then what about power forwards? Because maybe he and Torrey Craig are interchangeable at the small forward, power forward spot. Torrey Craig, kind of a small forward, power forward hybrid type of guy, right? So we look at the Lakers, they're giving up about 9.3 rebounds per game to power forward. So overall, I don't think he's in a terrible spot here. Not a bad spot whatsoever. Let's look at a projection for Mikal Bridges rebounds. Bridges projected for 6.2 boards right now. That is definitely more than 5.5, so that is encouraging. But we're looking at these sports books here. They've got him at 5.5 boards on a lot of these books. At 5.5, looks like a slight betting favorite to stay under 5.5 on most sites. Not all, but most have him under. Betting favorite to go under 5.5. So there you go. Chief Chaos with the sub. Appreciate it. If you're watching and you're not subscribed yet, make sure that you get subscribed. Turn notifications on if you want to be alerted when I do go live or post new content. And definitely leave a like on today's live stream. And then once the replay of this goes up on YouTube, if you go to the comment section, you comment your favorite pick of the day, I'm going to randomly select one of you to win a risk-free 2-pick that will get you $100. Basically, you get the 2 picks right. It's a 2-pick power play. You get both picks right. You win $100 on PrizePicks. So I'm selecting somebody new every single day. So go down to the comment section. Once this replay gets posted on YouTube, leave a comment with your favorite pick of the day. All right. So if you're not subscribed yet, get subscribed. Make sure you hit the like button and go leave a comment. You'll be automatically entered in to win a free entry. Jamon Scott says, what about Jaren Jackson Jr. for over 16.5 points? Appreciate the super chat first and foremost. Thank you for the support. Let's go look at Jaren Jackson Jr. He's at 16.5. We're not sure, though, if Ja Morant's in or out yet, right? And for me, that's going to be a very important piece of information to have. I want to know if Ja's in or if Ja's out. We don't know yet. If you know, let me know, because I don't know. I'm trying to find out. But I don't think Ja Morant is truly in or out yet. Let's refresh. Maybe we've got some news. Looks like he's still a game time decision. Still a true game time decision. Let's see. November 22nd, which is today, Morant ankle has been upgraded to questionable for Tuesday's matchup against the Kings. So he went from doubtful to questionable. That's encouraging. Morant was expected to be week to week after suffering a grade 1 ankle sprain Friday against the Thunder. However, after initially being listed as doubtful, the dynamic point guard is now looking like a game time decision for Tuesday. Even if he doesn't return against the Sacramento Kings, Morant appears to be well ahead of the initial timetable and should be able to suit up Friday versus the Pelicans or Sunday against the Knicks. All right. So I'd like to know if Ja Morant's going to be in or out. But it looks like he's getting closer to being in than out, but still truly a game time decision. But for now, with what we do know, I guess we can kind of proceed forward and kind of look at Jaren Jackson Jr.'s points. He's going up against Sacramento. We've already talked about this game. We loved a lot of props from this Sacramento side of this game, but we really haven't talked about any Memphis props a whole lot. Now, I know you guys mentioned Conchar. But what about Jaren Jackson Jr. points? Well, we've only got 2 games to look at. He's only played 2 games this season. 7 against New Orleans back on November 15th. 25 against Oklahoma City on November 18th. So 1 out of 2 this season so far. If you kind of look at the Sacramento defense, it's not great. 27th in total points, 29th in field goal percentage. They seem to excel in 3-pointers allowed. They're not allowing a lot of threes to opposing teams, but they do allow a high percentage. So when you do take a 3 against the Sacramento Kings, you're more often than not, you're going to be making it, right? Pretty high percentage. Power forward defense, 28th. So they struggle against opposing power forwards. Maybe we have some data from last season we could look at. He played Sacramento a total of 3 times last season, 17, 21, and 21 against the Kings. So he covered in 3 out of 3 games, averaged 19.7 points per game in those 3 contests against the Sacramento Kings. All right, so that looks good. But last season was last season, right? Can't really hang our hats on what he did last season too much. It's worth noting, though. Worth considering anyway. So what about this season? Sacramento, when it comes to power forwards, has given up 8.5 points per game. That is the 5th fewest points allowed to the power forward position. So it's not going to be an easy matchup for Jaren Jackson Jr. And if Ja Morant's in, I like this less. All right. So Sacramento, 18.5 points per game allowed, 5th fewest. He's at 16.5. So where do we go from here? Well, we can look at some other stuff. We can go like Jaren Jackson Jr. Versus the Kings logs. We can just kind of look at a bigger scope here. 21, 21, 17. We talked about the 3 games he played them last season, covered in all 3. Going back a little further, 12, 16, missed in both of those. 18, 18, covered in both of those. 11, 12, miss. 27, he hit, and 14, he missed. So I would say that more often than not, he seems to hit against the Sacramento Kings. Now, this is going all the way back to 2018, so take that for what you will. But he's only played 2 games. For me, I'm still on the fence on Jaren Jackson Jr. Just 2 games this season. Yes, 1 game was really good, but it was against Oklahoma City, a much easier matchup than the matchup he's going to have today against Sacramento. And then if Ja Morant's in, I just don't like it quite as much for Jaren Jackson Jr. Let's see. Jaren Jackson Jr. points without Ja Morant logs. So let's say Ja Morant does happen to sit out. Let's see. He's hitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's all over the place. He's kind of inconsistent, right? He's got some good games, 20-plus point games. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just on the fence. I know it's a small slate, but not my favorite pick, to be honest with you. Well, let's get you a projection real quick on Jaren Jackson Jr. Maybe this will help kind of make our mind up. He's projected for 15.1 points today, which is a whole lot less than 16.5. He's out on the sports books at 16.5, but it looks like like on a FanDuel, he's a bigger betting favorite to go under than he is to go over. So we're not really seeing a lot of people taking this particular pick, especially not over just yet, but keep an eye on it. I mean, if you start seeing some money coming in on Jaren Jackson Jr. for more than 16.5 points throughout the day, then maybe you jump on it too and you go along for the ride. Kate is saying that Jaren Jackson Jr.'s fantasy looks good. All right. Morant listed as questionable. Yep. Cha-Cha Boy, did he play anything yet? You talking about me? Yeah, I already played something. I played this. I made this at 1:47 a.m. yesterday. I took the taco and I put it with De'Aaron Fox for more than 1.5 threes. Sabonis for more than 5.5 assists. And I took a risk and went with DeAndre Ayton for more than 13.5 first half PRA. All right. There you go. That's what I played. How does the KD taco look? It looks like shit, guys. I think we've already talked about this. I don't like it. I would have voted for De'Aaron Fox's points. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I mean, I don't know. We talked about the reasons why I don't like it, right? We talked about the reasons why it's not going to be a free square by any means. And the tacos are not meant to always hit, guys. They're meant to be spicy. Tacos are spicy, right? Kevin Durant's at 23.5. We're taking a look at this game here, and we're seeing just 217.5 as far as the implied total goes. That's not good. Low scoring game means slow pace. It's going to be low and slow. Low total, slow pace. Slow pace means they're not going to be shooting as much, right? It's concerning. We need this guy to score points. Kyrie Irving's back. Ben Simmons making his return to Philadelphia. I mean, Brooklyn's pretty healthy. They got Seth Curry in the mix. I mean, there's a lot of hands in the cookie jar these days for this Brooklyn Nets squad. So on top of that, you got a 7.5 point spread, meaning this game definitely could blow out. I mean, you look at the Philadelphia 76ers, they don't have a lot of talent. Tobias Harris, if he starts, is going to be their best player. And when everybody's healthy for Philadelphia, he's like their fourth best player. No Harden, no Maxey, no Embiid tonight. Do you guys think Philadelphia somehow keeps this game close? I mean, it's a 7.5 point spread. I know we've seen Brooklyn sort of underperform and underwhelm, but if Brooklyn comes out and plays like Brooklyn's capable of playing, they're going to blow Philadelphia out. With no Embiid, Harden, or Maxey, I just don't see how Philadelphia keeps this close. I'm a little concerned it blows out. So you guys are asking about this taco. I don't like it that much. I really don't. Let's go look at some stuff here, though. You guys are asking about it. You want to know, should you be putting your hard-earned money on the taco or not, right? That's what you want to know. That's what you're here for. So this is his original point line. It's at 27.5. For me, part of me feels a little bit more comfy taking the under at 27.5 points. I kind of feel better about going under on the original line than I do going over on the taco. I hate to say it because I like tacos. And I want this taco to work out for us, but I'm not so sure. If you look at his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, last 8 games, he's only gone over 27.5 points in 3 out of 8. That's why I'm kind of thinking maybe going under on 27.5 is the right move and leaving this taco alone. But you could hedge. You could take the over on the taco. You could take the under on the 27.5. You could do that too. Against Philadelphia, I mean, historically, he's done really well against them. 29, 34, 33, and 25 points last season. 4 games played. He hit the over on 27.5 in 3 out of 4. If we bump this taco down, or if we bump this point line down to his taco number, which is 23.5, he was 4 for 4 against Philadelphia last season. I think both could hit. I think maybe the taco could go for, 24, and then the going under on the original line. That's what I did the last time they voted KD in as a taco. I took the over on the taco, and I also took the under on the original point line. Then both of them hit. So if we take the points down to 23.5, I mean, he's a perfect 17 for 17. 17 for 17 at 23.5 points. I still would have picked Fox. That's just me. But yeah, 17 for 17. He's averaging 30.4 points per game. What about in situations where Brooklyn wins by 10 or more? At 23.5, even in blowouts, he's still 28, 29, 27, and 26. So even if this game does turn into a runaway, a blowout, he's hit the over at 23.5 points in 4 games that turned into blowouts where Brooklyn blew out the other team. I mean, 17 for 17, 4 for 4 in blowout scenarios. What else you want to look at? Brooklyn versus Philadelphia. Well, on the road at 23.5, we know that he's perfect, right? 9 for 9. 30.1 points per game. Games played on the road. Probably going to have to take it, right? You're just going to have to take it and live with the results. It does look like a good taco. 17 for 17. Unless he just comes out and does something weird and I'm just going to defer to Kyrie and Ben tonight. I'm going to take the night off and have 10 assists tonight. But taking a look at his projection, he's projected for about 28 points. Guys, we're seeing his points props at 27.5 and 28.5 on the books. Now, PrizePicks could have put this up at 28.5 and then discounted it, but they didn't do that this time. So props to them. Shout out to them. I appreciate them giving it to us at 27.5 and then discounting it instead of giving it to us at 28.5 and then discounting it. I don't like when they do that. I don't like when they bump it a point and then discount it for Taco Tuesday. They did not do that this time. So the fact that he's at 28.5 on some of these books here, I'm liking it more. All right, let's go. What are we gonna do? Lines makers out on the sharpest books out there have him at 27.5 and 28.5 points. He's at 23.5. He's 17 for 17. You gotta play it. The game is low scoring. It is a potential blowout scenario, but he's even 4 for 4 in blowout scenarios. God, it's scary, but it's not meant to be free. Like we talked about, not meant to be free. Yeah, numbers don't lie. I mean, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. That's why I stick to the numbers. Your favorite Twitter capper, your favorite YouTube personality. I mean, they could tell you anything they want to tell you. I just go by the numbers. I just go by the numbers, not my gut. So going by the numbers, I mean, 17 for 17, you're going to take it, right? Shit. RJ Pace is saying he's taking Kyrie at 4 assists. Where's the Conchar crew at? You guys were talking about Conchar. What were you liking? Somebody said something about Conchar's rebounds, was it? Brushfire, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you subbing. What were you guys liking about Conchar? Because I saw some Conchar truthers out there. Chris Day is saying it was Conchar for rebounds. Bet. Let's go look at Conchar. 7 rebounds? Damn, that seems high. Oh, my man's been boarding, though. Woo. 7, 9, 8, 10, 9. Whew. Okay. My bad. Got to put some respect on this guy's name. I did not realize he was doing what he's doing on the glass like that. Conchar is projected for 6.6 boards. He is a betting favorite, -140, -145 to go over at 6.5. So I could see why they've got him up at 7 on PrizePicks. That's probably a good move. That's probably a wise decision on their behalf here. Let me go look at his season numbers. Put some respect on Conchar's name. I didn't even know how to pronounce his name until 5 minutes ago. Shout out to you guys, you pronunciation wizards out there. But yes, at 6.5 rebounds, he's gone over in 7 out of 16. Came out of the gate swinging with 11 boards, kind of went through this dry spell where he was not covering the 6.5, but in the last 6 out of his last 7 games, he's gone over. But we don't want to push, right? We want to see this guy go over 7 boards. So in his last 4 games, he's went over 7.5 rebounds in 4 out of his last 4 games. So that's good. That's good. Now it could push, right? With him being at 7 or more in 6 out of his last 7, could push. So maybe we do like what we did yesterday. What did we do yesterday? Well, we took 2 props that we felt good good about going over. And those props ended up being Zach LaVine over points, and we took the over on Tyrese Halliburton's points plus assists, and we combined it with a third prop, which was Anthony Simons for more than 5 assists. We flexed it. Simons tied, the other 2 guys hit, so it went from a 3-pick flex to a 2-pick power. Instead of a 2.25x flex payout, we got a 3x 2-pick power payout. But we still had the safety net in place that playing flex entries gives you, right? So you could go this route. I mean, I don't mind this little configuration right here. We got Bogdanovich for more than 13.5 first half PRA. We got Durant, Taco. We're just going to live with it and see what happens. Conchar for more than 7 rebounds. We've already talked about a couple of picks from earlier. I'll go ahead and revisit those. We talked about Sabonis for more than 5.5 assists. He looks like he's in a good spot. I don't mind De'Aaron Fox for more than 1.5 3-point makes. I think, well, I am going there. So we've got, I like this little 5-pack right here. We've got a nice little pack of 5 picks. I'm not mad at this so far. Who are the locks? Boy, that's a good question. When I go to Google and I type in who are the locks, this is what comes up. Sheik Luch, Styles P, and Jada Kiss. East Coast rappers. Shout out to the locks. That's what I got. Hey, comment. Who's your favorite member of the locks? I mean, I think the popular vote would probably be Jada Kiss. And then it would probably be Styles P, right? That's how we would probably rank the locks. What else we got here, gang? I'll take like 1 or 2 more questions, but yeah, we're running out of time. Bagley boards over or under. If there were a such thing as locks, we'd put PrizePicks out of business. Let me just say that, all right? It wouldn't be called gambling anymore. I don't know what they would call it. Free money? Kyrie's assists. Yeah, Cleveland. I got to agree with you. It's Jada Kiss, and it's not even close. You think I could join the locks? I'd love to be the 4th member of the locks. Ayton 25.5 rebounds and points. Steven Adams for 9 rebounds. Do we believe that both Steven Adams and Conchar can get there? Do you like both guys for more than their rebound totals, 7 and 9 respectively? Or is there one that you like more than the other? Marvin Bagley, I think that is kind of an interesting play. Marvin Bagley the third going up against Denver. We already said Isaiah Stewart's going to be out for Detroit. Jokic is going to be out. Maybe Aaron Gordon is out. You know what I mean? So we could go there. Marvin Bagley should have a higher amount of usage. No Sadiq Bey, no Cade Cunningham. Detroit's going to need somebody to put the basketball in the hoop. For me, I'd probably go like Bagley, maybe like points and rebounds or something like that, or maybe his PRA. Cleared his PRA against his former team, Sacramento. Everyday Fantasy saying, what about Joe Harris for 1.5 assists? Man, you come out of left field sometimes with some of these picks. Joe Harris at 1.5 assists. What do we think, gang? Shout out to the locks one more time before I close it out. Hope you guys took notes on who are the locks, so that way we never get that question again. I know y'all like asking that, though. Y'all like to know who the locks. Who are the locks of the day, dog? Tell me. I don't know, man. I'll tell you when the games are over. Then we'll know who the locks are. But nobody knows anything, okay? Nobody knows anything. It's all just guessing. We're all just guessing. But Joe Harris, 1.5 assists. Projected for 1.9. He is a slight betting favorite to go under. Minus 125, minus 120. With Kyrie coming back. Ben Simmons in the mix. They got Seth Curry healthy. Like, there's a lot of other guys on this team. I don't know if I like Joe Harris. It's probably going to hit because you always come out. Everyday Fantasy always comes out with these picks that are just like really off the grid. And they're always weird. And I'm always like, nah, bro, I ain't playing that. And then it ends up hitting. But Joe Harris is averaging 3.3 potential assists per game. 3.3 potentials. He needs to convert on 2 out of those 3 potentials per game. Averaging 2.1 assists per game this season. One thing that you could do is you could go Joe Harris assists with Kyrie Irving logs. So he's played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games this season with Kyrie Irving. He has hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's 6 for 7 games played with Kyrie Irving at 1.5 assists. Can't argue with that. 6 for 7 with Kyrie. Pretty darn good hit rates. You know what? I'm going to put it in there, man. I'm going to put Joe Harris for more than 1.5 assists in there. I'm tired of fading your picks, Everyday Fantasy. Tired of fading them. I'm going to take it. I'm going to leave Conchar out, though, because I don't want to play a prop that could potentially push. But I like where we're at so far. Bojan Bogdanovic, 13.5 first half PRA. Kevin Durant, Taco. We got Domantas Sabonis for 5.5 assists. I'm taking Fox for more than 1.5 3-point makes. We'll take Harris for more than 1.5 assists. I need one more. One more. And we're going to throw this 6 pick together. And I'm going to max out this Taco. Give me one more. No, we're not fading Harris. We're going to take Joe Harris because it's going to hit. It's going to hit. And that's on God. No. Constant Dude Drinker says the entire community is on Sabonis assists over. He's fading. Just too many people on it. Feels too chalky. I get it. I get it. We're trying to sweep. We're trying to sweep. Spliz36 says the source is trust me, bro. It's going to hit. Trust me. Melton PRA's being thrown out there. Jaren Jackson for the sweep. Campaign assists. What about Fox assists? I don't want to take Fox and Sabonis assists. I'm just going to ride with Sabonis. Got the higher hitty. What else we got, man? Let's look through this board real quick. We need one more pick. We're going to go for 25x. It's probably a waste. A wasted Taco here. About to waste it on this 6 pick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need one more. Herder first half PRA. Whoa. Herder first half PRA. Where's he at? Let's go look at him. Kevin Herder. Red Velvet. Did you know that? That's his nickname. Kevin Herder is also known as Red Velvet. Kevin Herder, first half points plus rebounds plus assists logs. Let's look at this real quick. Wow. 10.5. He's hit in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 10 out of 15. That's not bad. That's not bad. I don't hate that. That's not bad. Regina says, I hit a 6-pick last night, turned $8 into $200. Love that, Regina. Love that. Kevin Huerter over 10.5 first half PRA. He got hooked against San Antonio November 17th with 10. Otherwise, he'd be on a 5-game hit streak right now. What do you do against Memphis? When he played Memphis earlier this season, October 27th, he had 11 first half PRA. So he barely got over the hump. Now, I want to say that De'Aaron Fox got hurt in that game. Am I wrong on that? Did De'Aaron Fox leave that game early? Let me go look. Or maybe, was it Kevin Huerter? No, Kevin Huerter left that game early. Kevin Huerter got hurt in that game. He played only 19 minutes. But had 7-2-2 in 19 minutes against Memphis. So Kevin Huerter got hurt early in that game. Whew. Kips is saying, take Steven Adams for his first half points. Kevin Huerter's a trap. Ooh. We're trying to avoid those traps, aren't we, gang? We don't want any traps. Steven Adams sitting at 3.5 points. Let me look at something real quick here. Let me look at Steven Adams. First half logs versus Sabonis. I kind of want to see how he does against Sabonis. 3.5 points. How many times has he hit this in his career? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 9 against Sabonis. They have only met once, which was earlier this season with Adams as a Grizzly, Sabonis as a King. Adams had 14 first half minutes, put up 8 points, 6 boards, and 2 assists against Domantas Sabonis and the Kings. That's not bad. 8, 6, and 2 in the first half. What else we got for first half on Steven Adams? Let me look at this. We got him at 3.5 points. We could go 10.5 on the PRA, or we could go 12.5 on the fantasy score. Let me see something. First half FanDuel points logs versus Sabonis. 12.5. He has gone over in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 9 as well on his first half fantasy score against Sabonis. They met earlier this year. 18.2 first half fantasy was scored by my man Steven Adams against Domantas Sabonis. Needs at least 12.6. Put up 18.2 against Sacramento when they last met. All right. So he's done pretty well in his career against Mr. Sabonis here. What about this season? Steven Adams' hit rate at 12.5 fantasy score this season. He's played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 games. He's gone over in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 50% hit rate. Oh my, that's not good. I don't like 50% hit rates. What to do? Great historically against Sabonis. He's already 1 for 1 against him this season. Memphis versus Sacramento. I'd probably go fantasy score if I were to go any which way on Adams. That'd probably be the way I would go. But how does Adams' role change without Ja? See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if I feel comfortable taking any of these Grizzlies until we get the Ja Morant news. But you can go first half FanDuel points without Ja Morant logs. And you can kind of get an idea of what he's done without Ja. He's done pretty well for the most part. How many games has he played here? A lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 games played without Ja Morant. He's hit in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 out of 25 in games without Ja. If Ja's out tonight, if Ja Morant is out tonight, this may not be a bad way to go. 7 for 9 in his career against Sabonis. What did I say just a minute ago? 19 out of 25 in games without Ja Morant. And he's 1 for 1 against the Kings this season. This may not be a bad look. Steven Adams for more than 12.5. But I can't take it until I know what the status of Ja Morant is. I cannot take it. So I'm trying to avoid teams or picks or props that have pending news. And this is one of them. All the Memphis Grizzlies is one of them. So I'm going to stay away from it. Vanny, I've got De'Aaron Fox for more than 1.5 3-point makes. I got him for more than 1.5 3-point makes. Lil Bro Mowry wants to know, what's Ben Simmons' points line at? Good question. What is it at? It ain't on PrizePicks. We don't have Ben Simmons' points up on PrizePicks. Unfortunate. Denim is saying, what about Red Velvet, a.k.a. Kevin Huerter, for more than 1.5 turnovers? Well, hot damn, it looks like he's been turning the ball over a lot. Red Velvet, what's going on, buddy? Let me see. Do we have turnovers here on Prop.Cash? Yes, we do. Let's look at them. This could be the play. This could be the play that gets us to 25x. This could be the one. He's turned the ball over 2 or more times in 5 straight games. But against Memphis, he only played 19 minutes in that game. Like we talked about, he left that game early. Had no turnovers, though, in 19 minutes of play. No turnovers in 19 minutes against Memphis earlier this season. So what about as far as shooting guards go, turnovers forced by the Memphis Grizzlies? It doesn't look like they're forcing very many turnovers, gang. Just 2.3 per game to shooting guards, which means he'd have to have all the turnovers that they give up to shooting guards on a per game basis. This is going to be one of those ones where, I don't know, man. I can't do it. I just can't do it. Well, hey. I'm looking for a 6th pick, but maybe we just stop at 5, right? Maybe we just stop at 5. We wait for some news. But I like these 5. Bogdanovich will take the taco. Sabonis, Fox, Harris for 1.5 assists. Joe Harris, not Tobias Harris. To be continued.